Evening everybody, welcome to Wednesday night's live stamping. Just moving my light out the way because we've got a bit of a glare. Yeah, welcome to today's Wednesday weekly stamping. I hope you're all having a good week. I can't believe it's Wednesday already. Where is the week going? So tonight we are going to be using the All Things Fabulous stamp set. This is a wonderful stamp set. I'm really impressed with this. I don't actually think the catalogue does it justice. I've seen lots of people start to use it and it really is just beautiful. So we are going to be making this card this evening, which is using some lovely yellows and grey. And this is the stamp set in the catalogue. So you'll find it in the catalogue on page 121, the annual catalogue. Okay, so there's not a lot of information here about the stamp set. So these are the details here. So it's actually a 3-step stamp set. So you've got images that all layer up together when stamped in different colours. There's a little bit of how-to for this stamp set down here as well. But yeah, I don't actually think the catalogue images do it justice. So there is some more information on page 173. But again, there's not a great deal of inspiration with this, so let's get cracking and I'll show you just how amazing this stamp set is. So this stamp set as well is the one that I'm using for my August card class, which is available at the moment for booking. So see what you think, and I do have places available at the moment. It will take place on the 22nd of August or after if you're not available that day. The information will be there for you to catch up on. And the kits will be, you'll be able to make, I think I said 3 or 4 cards, I can't remember, but the information will be in my blog tomorrow for you. Okay, so here we go. This is the card we're going to be making. So I will need a Whisper White card base. So this is half a piece of A4. Hi Christine, hi everyone that's watching, sorry I've not said hello. This is half a piece of A4 that's scored in half, and then we just fold to get our card base. Okay, always recommend you use your bone folder to make sure those score lines are nice and crisp, and then your card will stay folded as well. Okay, I have 2 pieces of smoky slate. Now this measures 10 centimetres by 14.4, so it's half a centimetre smaller than our card base. So we have a piece for inside and a piece for outside. And then I have 2 pieces of Whisper White. This is actually just 2 millimetres smaller than the smoky slate. So it is 9.8 centimetres by 14.2 centimetres. So I didn't really want to have too much of a border of grey going on. So that gives us a really nice little layer, I guess you could say. So I have a piece for the front and a piece for inside. So this card feels really quite thick. Feels really good quality now. And then I have this beautiful die cut piece. So this comes from the dies that coordinate with this stamp set. I'll get them for you in a second. I'm just getting this little piece out. So this is just a beautiful die. Got a few pieces left behind. So this cut really nicely actually. And this comes from the dies that go with the stamp set called Fabulous Florals. So there's all the dies that you get with, and that comes as a bundle, or you can purchase it as a bundle and save yourself 10%. And then I have a lovely little label die. This comes from the Hippo dies, the Hippo and Friends, and that is our piece for sew. The rest is all stamping, so let's get started. So to build up our scene to start with, we need our piece of Whisper White for the front, and I'm going to do some speckling so you can see the white there has got some grey speckles on it. I'm using a dark grey granite stamping blend. You could also use a Stampin' Right marker if you have them, and I'm just using the felt tip end. I'm popping the nib inside the lid and just pushing against to just get that really lovely speckled effect. So it's a super quick technique, really simple, but it just breaks up that white really nicely. For the inside piece as well, I am going to do a little bit of speckling just down in this corner, Okay, so the closer you go to the card, the bigger the blobs. The further up you go, the higher up you go, the smaller the effect. Okay, so just want a little bit in that corner. So we can put the inside one to one side. We can now layer on our lovely die cut piece. And I'm actually going to layer this on with dimensionals because where our sentiment is going, you won't see the dimensional. So just want to add a bit of dimension. So I'm going to pop 1, 2 and 3 on like so. Let's just peel off those backs. I've got a piece stuck to my finger. And then this is going across the centre like so. Okay, so that looks really pretty on there. And we can actually pop that on, we can layer this all up. So this will go on there like that. And I'm going to use Stampin' Seal. So it's finally arrived. I wanted to see what the reviews were about this before I ordered it, because I get on just fine with Tombow, but these are really quick, and actually I've been quite impressed with it. So there's some great instructions on the packet, and actually, so this is how it comes in a little packet like this, and actually the instructions are really clear, and if you follow those instructions, I don't see anyone have any problems. Famous last words, possibly. So to use this, you just pop off the nib, and then you'll see that the glue is kind of in there. So it's a basic tape runner, in that all you do, and I say all you do, is you just line it on your card. Takes a minute. If it gets stuck, just kind of move it with your fingers. I say, dear, you can kind of see where the glue is. That's better. So you just pull it along and then pull it back ever so slightly. You can't even see it, there you are, you can just about see that. Pull it back ever so slightly and then it will stick. Okay, so bearing in mind this is only the second time I've used Stampin' Seal. I'm not doing too badly with it. Okay, so there we have that. I do still prefer Tombow. I think you get a lot more control with it, but so far I think it's good. So there we have that layered onto our card, and then we can pop this onto our card front. Here we go. I haven't got used to the amount of pressure you have to put on. There we have it. So I think once I'm used to the amount of pressure I need to apply, it'll work really well. And it is permanent, so you can't move it once it's stuck down. There are two types. There is Stampin' Seal, which is permanent, and then you have Stampin' Seal Plus, which is more of a stronger bond. I'm not quite sure what's stronger than permanent, but there are two types. So there we have our card, and now we can start doing our stamping. So the flowers, I'm really impressed actually with how these flowers come on the sheet. Because there's a lot of flowers in here. On the front of the packet, so on the case, it will tell you, so you have that one, that one and that one, that one, that one and that one, that one and that one and that one. Okay, now on the packet it actually has letters and numbers. So for example, this one here is number 2, so you need 2A, 2B and 2C, and the arrows actually tell you which way up they go. So they're really thought about this for the customer. And I'm really impressed actually. It made that whole which one goes with which issue a lot smoother. So yeah, really happy with that. So now I've got some scrap Whisper White. So I have mounted my stamps onto blocks. They are photopolymer stamp sets, so I recommend you using a Stampin' mat. These are now back in stock as well, so you can now reorder these as before. If anyone would like one, let me know and I'll pop you one on my order. So the colours I'm using for these, I'm using So Saffron from our Subtles range, and I'm using Bumblebee, which is one of our new in colours. Bumblebee is actually the colour of this cardstock as well, so a little bit of coordination there for you. So with these stamps, I always recommend you start with the lightest colour and you start with the biggest stamp, okay? So we'll stamp this first. We need 3 of these. So I'm going to do 1. And the stamping mat just gives you a bit of cushioning, making your, it just makes your stamp, your image stamp that little bit better. Okay, so you don't need to move your stamp, just pop it down, push down firmly and it will stamp nicely. Okay, so our next stamp looks like this. Okay, now the bit that you need to line up, you need to work on the centre. So you see where these little white pieces are that aren't stamped, those are the pieces you need to line up. So this would work really, really well with the Stamparatus. I'm not using that today. So bear with me, I'm just going to line this up. Can't really see, hang on, just going to move the camera down a bit more so I can get my head in there. There we have it. So yeah, this stamp set would work really, really well with the Stamparatus, especially if you're stamping more than one image. Once you've got that first one in the right place, you can then stamp away. Okay. Number 2, so this is the same colour. Now I could have, if I wanted to, stamped off of that first image, but I just wanted to show you that actually you do get some really nice tone on tone with the same colour. Now we're going to go in with Bumblebee and our 3rd image. Okay, so again we're just lining up over here with the little white areas, and this is where I think it really comes alive. So there we have all 3 stamps together. Okay, so I'm just going to follow this round like so, 1, 2, and then over here we have 3. Okay, so there we have our lovely 3-step stamping flowers. So let me know what you think. And then we need 3 leaves as well, which I will stamp here as well. So the leaves are going to be stamped in Smoky Slate. Okay, sorry, just having a moment of blank. 2, and then down here we have 3. So the leaves stamp really lovely as well. And now we just need to die cut those out. I'm just going to wheel over my big shot. So the dies, they are outline dies. You could easily fussy cut these, but as we're using this for the first time, I will use the dies. So when I get my dies, I always draw around them while they're stuck onto the sheet before I take any off. So I always remember that's where they go. They all fit on nicely, and I can easily see if I'm missing any. So a little tip there from me. So the dies, I've just attached some washi tape to these dies so that they stay in place. So we just pop them over our image so that they are in place. Okay, and then the same for our flowers. This washi tape is probably one of my most used crafting tools, equipment, whatever you want to call it, kit. I'm just going to run that through my big shot. So I just need to do this 3 times. I won't move the big shot in because it's quite clunky and it will make the screen shake. And then these just pop out. So they leave a lovely white border around the edge. So they look really nice. And then we can go with the next ones. Washi tape is great because it's not very sticky. It won't damage your images. So I do use it quite a lot. If you're using the magnetic plate, then they should stay in place. But I'm always a bit scared. I like to kind of double make sure that they're not going to move. Otherwise you've wasted all that stamping. Okay. That's it. So that's how lovely it peels off as well too. And then last time, so I tend to, with my cards, stick to the rule 3 and rule 5. So I either do things in 3s or I do them in 5. So for today's card I'm using 3. I don't know why, I'm always more taken to odd numbers, and I think you get a better, it then doesn't look like it's symmetrical, and symmetrical, I always think with symmetrical I've tried too hard and it never looks right, but that's me personally. Okay, so we now have our 3 flowers and our 3 leaves. Okay, so I'm just going to put my dies back over there. Excuse me. And then we need to do some stamping on our label. So our label, I have used, where's my little die cut piece? Here he is. So this label here comes from the Hippo dies, which are really, really handy. I'm just going to have a drink. And this sentiment comes from the So Sentimental stamp set. So I'm just cleaning that off. So we're going to stamp it in Smoky Slate, so sticking with our nice grey theme. Okay, and this is actually a cling stamp, so we don't need our stamping mat. So try and get this so that it's in the middle and straight if you can. It's not bad. But, so this tag has got a little stitching around it, which looks lovely, but I've done a little bit of 2-step multi-tonal sentiment, so I'm going to stamp that again onto some scrap Whisper White, which I have here, and I'm going to stamp that now in Bumblebee. So this is a really lovely technique for adding 2 colours to your sentiments. That was just wide enough, wasn't it? And then we can add our sentiment. Well, let's just lay it on actually before we build it up. So what we're now going to do is we're just going to cut around this. So always some fussy cutting. Don't like to disappoint you all. So I'm just going around the sentiment, leaving a white gap. It's the same as the flowers. I'm just going to cut around this. You don't have to worry about cutting in too deep to the letters if you don't want to, but I would just follow the shape basically. That's it. So has anyone else on here bought this stamp set yet? Has it jumped off the catalogue into your trolley, to your shopping cart? Let me know if you've got it and if you've used it yet. It's always nice to see if things are popular or not. So let's just follow it round. Chop off any excess if it's getting too much. Now the trick is I tend to move my paper and keep my scissors as still as I possibly can. There you go, nearly there now. Just gives you that little bit more control. Not yet, Bev. It's very nice. I think Michaela Titheridge of the Crafty Oink Pen used it the other day, and wow, her cards were just incredible. She really made the colours pop. Okay, so there we have Friendship cut out. So just get rid of our little bits of scrap, and now we can start putting our card together. So I'm bringing back in my trusty Tombow, and I'm just going to add a few little dots all the way along like so, and then we just place it over the existing word, and there we have our multicoloured sentiment. So now we can start putting things together. So I'm going to use my Stampin' seal for this, like so. And I'm just going to put that on so that it covers up the dimensionals and we still get that lovely die showing at the bottom. Okay, so that's on there like so. Now we need 2 of our flowers for the front and 1 leaf. So the flowers, I have arranged them underneath our sentiment because I don't actually want to lose too much of this die. So to do that, bringing in some dimensionals, and I want to make sure these stand out. So I'm adding dimensionals. Like so. That one about there, and then the second one I can put in. Now if it doesn't fit, just chop off a petal, okay, and make it fit. There we have it. So that was a bit ruthless, wasn't it? So that's not really fitting very well. So just trim it down until it fits, okay, like so, and then pop a dimensional under that one. Hi Deborah, hello from hot Tennessee. Oh wow, what temperature are you at today? Just going to move that one along a bit, that's better. Okay, that's it. So the trick is with this is to just make it fit. And then with our leaf, we're going to pop that in just underneath. So again, our die kind of isn't compromised. We can still see all that. Okay, and then this we're going to add just with a little bit of Tombow. So we'd never know we've cut those flowers. And then just layer it in. Like so. So there we have our finished card front, and then inside, so we have our little bit of layering here, so we can now add those 2 pieces together. So I've got them, hopefully I've got the measure of the Stampin' seal now. Okay, 2, and then we can pop that in the inside as well. Actually feels really quite smooth, smoother than snail was, which is what we had before. So we did have a snail, now we've got a seal, and I'm quite impressed with seal. So inside we're going to add another little flower, so we're just going to do something like this. Okay, so I don't want to use dimensionals inside, I'm just using some Tombow. And then we can add in our leaf. We can either put it at the bottom or at the top. I might actually put that at the bottom this time. So I've slid that in until it's stuck. And then we have I'm Here For You, our sentiment. And this is going to be stamped in smoky slate. So just line that up on the card where we're happy. I'm going to pop that down there and stamp. Okay, so there we have, right now it's 93. Okay Deborah, this is where my maths and my knowledge is terrible of temperature. What is that in Celsius? So I'll wait for you to get back to me. This is the card we've made this evening. We've used the new All Things Fabulous stamp set, which is a 3-step stamp set. It's really tricky to say. And we've used shades of yellow, so we've used So Saffron and Bumblebee as our 2 colours for the flowers, and then we've added in some smoky slate. So grey and yellow is one of my most favourite colour combinations. We've done a little bit of 2 colour stamping for our sentiment. We've used the lovely die that's from the dies that coordinate with All Things Fabulous. And then we've added in a little bit more detail inside. Oh, that isn't stuck. A little bit more detail inside. So that is my card for this evening. So thank you to everybody who's tuned in and watched me create that. I promised a little sneaky peek. So this is one of the card designs for my August card class. So there will be information on my page about this. If you wanted to take part, I'd love you to join me. It will take place live on the 22nd of August, but it will be recorded. So if you wanted to catch up at a later date, you can do that. And booking closes on the 30th of July for that one. That's it from me tonight. If you wanted any more information on the products I've used, the techniques, or you've got any questions, or you just want to say hello, I would love to hear from you. So have a great evening, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll next be live here at 8:30 p.m, so 8:30 p.m. on Sunday, and I'll be making a card with the Basket of Blooms stamp set. So that's it for me tonight, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you all very soon, hopefully. Take care. Bye.